Legendary TV, name is Phil Legend, emphasis on the legend, and as you can see, I am back home after being in college for like 3 months straight. Haven't even went home during the weekends, nothing. I just been in college, and after being there for so long, man, it feels, it's kind of like a new feeling now that I'm home in college, you know? And I forgot, and I didn't bring my mic. I didn't know why. I never thought I would bring my mic. So it was gonna sound very different. And the mic is actually coming from the webcam itself, so it's gonna make it work. So with that, today we have Ready Player One, an empty pit of nostalgia and misery by Pointless Hub. I love this guy. I love his videos, especially when he talks about Roland Emmerich movies. And I gotta say, he kind of makes the movies, I guess, somewhat engaging. I mean, it's kind of stupid. I mean, some movies are. And speaking of Roland Emmerich, there are some good ones. Let me get that. The Patriot. Yep. Got The Patriot right here, physically. It's a good movie. I like it. So, yeah. Pointless Hub. Excited to talk about Ready Player One. Boy, check this out.
Hi. Do you like Familiar Thing? Of course you do. Everyone likes Familiar Thing. Well, what if there was a movie where you saw a lot of Familiar Thing? Hey, it's that thing, and that thing, so many things.
Overwatch, Halo.
This is a good movie because
I'm not. Yeah, I mean, I like Ready Player One. I thought it was a good movie. I mean, yeah, there was like too many references in one, too many nostalgic stuff. Makes me realize that we are so nostalgia blind, because the stuff we grew up with as kids, they were a lot more magical, and now it's just not the same anymore. But hey, it's 2025, might as well get with the times.
I have seen so many familiar things. That's Ready Player One, directed by Steven Spielberg.
The one and only. Right in the balls.
Nostalgia is a hell of a drug,
oh, yes,
they say. I wouldn't know, I only sniff glue. Looking back on the good old days isn't unique to any one time. But man, the 2010s just went overboard with the whole 80s.
Wreck-It Ralph was a good example of that too. I mean, yeah, it took place in an arcade, but Dig Dug, Pac-Man, Mario Brothers, apparently, Sonic. I mean, unless you're counting like the Sonic games at the arcades, like the Sega Sonic, I guess that counts too. But oh boy, Wreck-It Ralph was like one of the big examples. And there was like a other movie I know of, Stranger Things, yeah, and especially like they referenced the 80s. So there was Wreck-It Ralph, Stranger Things. I mean, like, some movies are like nostalgia fest, pretty much.
Nostalgia thing. For a few years, memories were marketable. Reboot, remake.
Wait, hold up.
For a few years, memories were marketable.
Dang. I just want that now. You know? Well, why can't we have something like this? Like, this is cool. I would love to drink something out of that. Like soda, too. Like Pepsi Perfect. Like, come on. Like, it's right there. I love
Reboot,
I love
remake. Remember this? Remember that? It's something that was just so potent a decade ago. I love the 80s. Back when we could legally drink and drive.
Put in 11, 12 hours a day, and then get in your truck and at least drink 1 or 2 beers.
In my opinion, I think this whole phenomenon reached its zenith with one movie. One film that encapsulated this cultural rot. Ready Player One.
Mechagodzilla!
The existence of this movie just fascinates me. It's something so of the 2010s. Like, after 2018, you just never heard about this thing again. I have never seen a Ready Player One fan online. Maybe they exist. I don't know. Nobody
They
ever
do.
brings it up.
It's just
Is
kind
this
of
one
a
of those
rare
things people
thing,
enjoy
I
in
guess.
absolute shame?
Kinda
I want to
scarce.
know. Because the song making fun of Ready Player One has more cultural impact.
And crazy part is this actually popped up on my algorithm. That's crazy
Than
work.
the actual movie.
Remember Tomb Raider, remember Weird Science, remember Battletoads, and the Iron Giant?
This Spielberg film was kind of just swept away like an outdated Madden game, a disposable film. How could this have happened? It had all these recognizable IPs. It had the Iron Giant, Halo, Battletoads. How could something
I didn't
that had
even know
Tracer
there's
from
Battletoads
Overwatch
on
be
there.
forgotten by 2025? In the movie Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory, the titular character, an eccentric visionary, decides who will inherit his fortune in a battle royale where each child's sins become their undoing. Ready
Battle
Player One
Royale.
is just Willy Wonka, but in VR chat. In the year 2045, the world sucks, and it ain't getting better. People live in squalor, and the only way to escape their miserable lives is to put on goggles and go into the virtual world. The Oasis. A metaverse, a universe where you can do anything and be anyone. Everyone is obsessed with it,
That's
it
fine.
basically controls society, and now its creator, James Halliday, is dead. As his final act, he announces that his inheritance will be chosen by an Easter egg hunt. The person who finds all three keys
Wait.
and his inheritance will be
Hold
chosen
up.
by an Easter egg hunt. The person who
Donkey Kong Jr. How did I miss that? Yeah, there's just like too many things from the 80s. In the big 2045. That's crazy.
finds all three keys and passes the challenges will inherit $500 billion and own the entire oasis. There are whole groups of Easter egg hunters called Gunters who scour for clues.
Gunter.
There's an evil company called Amazon, Innovative Online Industries, or IOI, who wants to disable ad block and milk the oasis for all they can. And so far, nobody in 5
Probably
years
like Disney
has
or
even
something.
found the first key. Not even IOI's thousands of employees. Everyone is just stupid. So that's the
I
basics for the
guess.
original 2010 book by Ernest Cline and the 2018 Spielberg movie. Same general plot structure, same characters. There is, however, one big difference between these two. Execution. The book is one of the worst things I've ever read in my life.
Oh,
I'm
really?
sure there are worse books out there. The rational
Bill
side
Cosby
of my
had a
brain
book?
understands that worse novels do exist, but the rest of my brain just had to read a book which had quotes like this: Land of the Lost, Thundar the Barbarian, He-Man, Schoolhouse Rock, G.I. Joe. I knew them all, because knowing is half the battle.
What?
The term Reddit is thrown around a lot nowadays. This is Reddit, that is Reddit. It's a very versatile insult used by all sides of the political spectrum, used by any community. No matter who you are online, nobody wants to be accused of being a Redditor. Reddit is now just a catch-all term for a very specific form of lame, dorky, and nerdy. It's a term I've avoided.
I mean, I'm a nerd. What does that say about me? And I mean, I've been going on Reddit sometimes, just not always. Yeah.
Using because it's an internet phrase and it'll just be outdated. So trust me when I say this, because I don't use the term lightly. But this book is like the most Reddit thing ever, man. Oh my god. And it's a very specific form of Reddit, like an extinct version of Redditor that doesn't even exist anymore. I devoured each of what Halliday referred to as the Holy Trilogies: Star Wars, original and prequel trilogies, in that order, Lord of the Rings, The Matrix, Mad Max, Back to the Future, and Indiana Jones. Halliday once said that he preferred to pretend the other Indiana Jones film, from Kingdom of the Crystal Skull onward, didn't exist. I tended to agree. I also absorbed the complete
mean,
filmography
that's
of each
a
of his favorite
headcanon, I
directors.
guess.
Cameron, Gilliam, Jackson, Fincher, Kubrick, Lucas, Spielberg, Del Toro, Tarantino, and of course, Kevin Smith.
Kevin
The whole
Smith.
book is like that. You'd expect this
Really? Huh. Who's this Kevin Smith guy? I mean, I know like Lucas, Spielberg, Tarantino, and a whole bunch of others. Kevin Smith. I don't think I've seen any of these movies. No, I don't. Jeez, my head hurts now. Moving on, I guess.
an adventure about a kid finding the 3 keys and saving the digital chalk zone world. And it's like that 20% of the time, but 80% of the actual text is just the author, Ernest Cline, going on weird diatribes or listing off things he's a fan of. Sure, most of it's 80s references, but then they'll just have a random reference to Firefly, because no nerd in the late 2000s could shut up about Firefly.
I know what that is!
Okay, so I thought you had. Okay, look. Story was interesting, right? I mean, it's kind of like someone like Willy Wonka, but he's like you're. But I feel like the guy wrote the book as an excuse to tell like the reader about the things he likes, rather than the actual story. And that's like in the whole like favorites is like 80% of the book. Come on, dude. I highly doubt it was peer reviewed either. Just man.
Wade is an overweight recluse who sucks with girls and avoids people in real life. But on the Oasis, he's a somebody. He's Parzival, a gunter. Knowing pop culture is his superpower. There's an entire chapter where Wade wins a pop culture debate against some other guy, like this was the Big Bang Theory, and he won it so hard that literally everyone clapped. Wade has the personality of a sheltered Gen X nerd, despite being born in the 2020s. He has all the same opinions too. All the same opinions. It only took 17 pages into the book for Cline to mention how life sucks and God isn't real. Wade has this whole inner monologue about how fapping is great and it makes you smarter. This type of person couldn't exist on the internet anymore. They all got wiped out like the dinosaurs. Like, this is Will Wheaton as a book. Hell, Will Wheaton even narrates the audiobook. And in the lore of the book itself, he's voted as vice president of the Oasis. The funny thing, though, is that when you remove really most of the book, you have a mildly interesting idea. And that's what Warner Brothers saw when adapting this thing. Because they bought the film rights before the book even came out. Hey there, I'm dealership owner
Wait. They bought the rights before the book even dropped? I mean, if that's the case, then hold on. So, Warner Brothers got the rights before the book even dropped, before the book even was available to the masses, and right before the book was released, Warner Brothers just kind of bought the rights right then and there. What? I mean, it honestly kind of makes the movie even popular than, I guess, the movie better than the actual book itself. But let's see what he says about this.
Billy SCC. Has your tank recently gone out of commission? Has your plane plummeted to the earth? Well, why not stop on by the sponsor of today's video, War Thunder. Down at War... Bidding war for the film. There was a whole ass bidding war for the film rights before Klein even completed the book. According
Wow, a lot studios apparently. How does that work? So like, while you were writing the book, you just kind of pitched it. You just pitched a story to the studios. Is that how it works? Y'all let me know down below, cause my head hurts right now. They got the rights before the book's even available to the masses. What? It's not even a good idea. At least wait for a few months. I mean, at least work on the movie around like a year after the book released. I mean that's how I would have done it.
to this Deadline article, Paramount, Fox, and Warner Brothers all
Paramount
fought
and
over this
Fox?
movie, but Warner Brothers won. So, like, how? How did the guy who wrote the 33% on Rotten Tomatoes film Fanboys, a comedy about a bunch of nerds trying to break into Skywalker Ranch, end up becoming the belle of the ball for these studios? Well, all it takes is having a good idea. Or, well, you know, a profitable idea. Imagine a movie where the core theme is nostalgia and popular IPs. Even back in 2010, studios saw the money. In a way, the actual content and quality of the book never mattered that much. They picked up the rights a year before the book even came out. It's not like this was a New York Times bestseller, then a movie adaptation. This was a movie adaptation, then a New York Times bestseller. Which, it sure is a coincidence that happened.
Yeah.
Sure was lucky this book...
It kind of feels like one of those book adaptations to a film. Because, you know, for like obvious reasons. Like, gotta wait till the book became a New York Times bestseller, then make a movie? It's not even that hard. I mean, I guess there's a deadline to these rights. Is that how it works? I gotta look this up.
Whose movie rights were bought by a major studio just ended up being on the New York Times bestseller list. Worked out for everyone. On an unrelated note, did you know that the bestseller list isn't actually reflective of any real sales? It's actually an editorial recommendation list where books are chosen at whim. Make of that as you will. Yeah, it never really mattered how much Klein fumbled the story execution or ranted about jacking off. The concept alone was just so alluring to studios that it ended up becoming a movie directed by Steven Spielberg.
How did they
Marvin
get
the
him on
Martian.
board?
The fact this will always be in Spielberg's filmography
I didn't even
is
see
just
Marvin on the
hilarious.
movie. What?
A movie with
There's just too
Claptrap
many.
stands alongside Jaws and Saving Private Ryan.
Claptrap
Do you think
too?
Spielberg knows about Street Fighter? When the art department put these
I need to watch
characters
this movie
in and
again,
you saw the
'cause-
final product,
So,
do you think
because
most
I need to actually see all these references. I forget, Looney Tunes and Borderlands? Oh my god. And I seen the movie like way before I was well aware of Borderlands and Battletoads. Oh,
these
jeez.
just went over his head. As shameless as this movie is, being a vehicle for nostalgia and all, even literally having nostalgic vehicles, I don't think anyone could have pulled off this adaptation as well as Spielberg. Apparently, the studios wanted Josh Trank to originally direct.
Josh Trank?
Like Van Forstick Josh Trank.
Oh,
that would have been
no.
hilarious. Why didn't we get that one? They should have done that. Sub-Zero. Ready Player One is really two different films happening at the same time. On one hand, we have the live-action Real World. It's like a traditional Spielberg film. These sections are very deliberate and readable. It has the energy of a
it's kind of
thriller
something up of
movie.
a modern
The visual
Spielberg
language
film.
is intentionally nostalgic.
Like,
It's
so
also
modern.
helped that the score is done by Alan Silvestri, composer for all the Back to the Future movies, Forrest Gump, and The Croods. The score is intentionally cheesy and emotional at times. almost too much. Like, by the end, it just swells so much, I'm just thinking, alright, pull it back a bit. The other half of the movie is a Blur Studios cutscene.
Something.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like
After
something off of
suffering
an
through
announcement
the
trailer of a
book,
video
I actually
game.
liked the start of Ready Player One. Shows the dorkiness of everyone being obsessed with VR. I even thought, wait, why didn't I like this movie again? Oh.
Lex Luthor. Cool.
From a technical standpoint, the CGI is pretty impressive in 2025, but in that way a video game commercial is impressive. And it's crazy to see
Yeah, those trailers are somehow even better than the actual gameplay itself. Like that one Alien video game, like Colonial Marines or something like that. Yeah, something like those. Like, Harley Quinn? Huh. Okay.
in this movie look like Super Smash Bros. Bill in 2013. Battletoads. That's really the most the Oasis scenes bring to the table. Like, if you wanted to see a photorealistic Iron Giant,
I forgot his name.
There you go.
Iron
and hey,
Giant.
even on this last rewatch, I was not immune to seeing a CGI Gundam fighting Mechagodzilla. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I know. I fell for the propaganda. I recognized Familiar Thing, and I liked Familiar Thing. I'm a hypocrite.
For me, that was
Look,
the
I'm
Iron
not above
Giant.
seeing recognizable thing and getting enjoyment out of that. I'd actually go against the grain here and say they should have had more recognizable characters in this movie, because the original ones they created look absolutely horrifying.
Like something off Avatar. Especially her.
The visual style they went with for the entire Oasis is just baffling. I get it's a video game, and that's the excuse for why the CGI looks the way it does, but did our main protagonists really need to have giant bug eyes? Did this need to be
anime eyes? Forget Alita. Exactly though. That was the same thought I had. Like, you made the main protagonist look like freaking Alita? From a manga series? I don't even know why they even bother adding the big eyes in the first place. Oh, what the heck? What? She looking creepy over here. Well, hold on now. But yeah, it really shows that having big eyes just doesn't work. Especially, it just doesn't work at all. No.
But bad. Parzival and Artemis just look so off-putting. How am I supposed to feel any emotional attachment to these characters? How am I supposed to take anything this guy says seriously? The live-action segments are ironically a reprieve from this ugly VR world. How does the virtual world meant to escape the depressing reality?
I just realized, I don't think they had like certain characters in like a certain cartoon shade, like cartoon shading like Fortnite has. But their characters like Scooby-Doo, the anime characters, even cartoon characters, even The Simpsons had like toon shading. But they never did it with Ready Player One. I mean, I guess I could assume that they never worked their way around it. Maybe they thought it would look off compared to the actual style of the movie, but I mean, I thought it would be cool. I mean, it's practically Fortnite anyway. You might as well go for it.
They look just as bland as Columbus, Ohio. This is the Oasis. People can go and do anything. And what do we see for the whole movie? Inception, New York City, a dark club, The Shining, a depressing wasteland. And yeah, it's Planet Doom from Voltron, but that doesn't make this battle look any less like a...
It's crazy because I'm only seeing like the Voltron animated series by DreamWorks on Netflix. I never seen the original. That's the crazy part.
Visual mess. It's all technically impressive. I'm sure a lot of artists worked on this, but like, what's the point if it's all a blur of grays and blues? The
throw
original
some
characters
toon
look
shading
bad,
here and
the
there,
environments look bad, and the only interesting thing we get are the characters from things we actually like. Kinda seems like the point of this 80s stuff is that it's just a cover for a dying society. In the book, the 80s stuff is just because the author likes the 80s.
Remember Akira? That's from Japan. Remember Galaga and Mrs. Pac-Man?
Like, Klein has a way to drive a DeLorean with Ghostbuster decals on the doors and installs an AI kit from Knight Rider. And it's not played up like a joke, it's meant to be cool. He literally owns this exact DeLorean in real life. So the movie does the 80s stuff a lot better by just having less 80s stuff. It had to appeal to more than just man-children Gen Xers. It appeals to man-children from every decade, 90s, 2000s, even the 2010s. All still equally as shameless.
James Halliday's favorite first-person shooter. What?
Oh, GoldenEye.
I really want to know how this movie will be viewed in the actual year of 2045. It's not that far in the future, it's only like 20 years. That's the same span of time from here to 2005. I'm sure most of these things will still be recognized, but that broad generational connection to them just won't be there. I know what a Battletoad is, but someone watching this in the 2040s will just be like, what's that humanoid frog thing? Who will be remembered and who won't be? I can't really predict.
Oh, the Gremlins?
All I can say though is that this movie is going to be very baffling to people in 20 years because nobody will remember Tracer from Overwatch.
I mean, some people would.
Tracer shows up like 4 different times. It's so distracting.
Sleeping in bathroom breaks?
It's a constant reminder this was made in 2018. In 2 decades, people are just gonna be like, who the f*** is this? Why do they keep showing this girl? Is she an original character? No. This was just a big game in 2018. And Blizzard dropped the ball so hard, it's now the most poorly aged inclusion in a movie that has TJ Miller as comic relief.
The Tootsie Pop. Remember that old commercial with the owl?
To be fair though, at least I remembered Tracer was even in this. Did you know a Battleborn character was in the background?
Battleborn?
Remember Battleborn? Anyway, everyone...
What? I mean, some people might remember that, but Battleborn... I think I've heard of that through, like, a video, I think. Random video.
Everyone is stupid in this world. In the book, it at least makes sense why it's been years and nobody has ever found the first key. Nobody even knows where to start. In the movie, the first key is locked behind this race, and anyone who wins the key. Nobody has won the race in 5 years. They keep getting smashed by King Kong. So what could the solution possibly be? Just go backwards. Yeah,
and no one throughout those 5 years never figured that one out. I mean, I guess they assume like if you go in first place you get the key, but you never thought to pull a Mario Kart 64 and just go in the opposite direction? I mean, I guess it could be dumb to some people, but hey, it's a possibility.
It's the first key because he was the first one to go backwards. In our world where speedrunners break games just for a 10-second time save,
64.
Nobody broke this game with a $500 billion on the line. Spawn, if this contest was real, gamers would have cracked this egg hunt in under a week. Hell, someone would have gotten the first key in the same hour Halliday died. Going backwards is the first thing anyone would have done, even if by accident. Now, to be fair, I saw someone on the Ready Player One subreddit, the only place I actually see people discuss this thing, theorize that maybe somebody needed to see Halliday's old memories and figure it out in front of the butler, because the butler is Simon Pegg, don't worry about it, and then Simon Pegg would activate the trapdoor to go backwards. I think that's giving the movie way more credit than it intended. If the movie really wanted the audience to know this very clever thing, then maybe Simon Pegg would have told Wade that that's how the first key worked at the end of the movie. I just don't see Klein and the writer of Free Guy recognizing that this whole backwards thing is really dumb, and they intended for the butler noticing to be the way that the first key actually worked. I think if that's what they actually intended...
Oh no, y'all. My computer better die. Oh boy. Man, this is kind of like an interesting video. Because I never really thought of that throughout the past 7 years? I'm doing the math right. Yeah, 7 years. Sounds kind of crazy. Bought the film right before the book even dropped. Like, what were they thinking with that one? And the book in the New York Times bestseller didn't even matter anyway.
They would have just
facade, I
told
guess.
the audience because they want the audience to think the movie's more clever than it actually is. From what we're given in the actual movie, though, Wade was just the first guy to go in reverse. Not even the big bad Amazon company with their infinite resources
Right.
has ever tried to go backwards at all.
Oh, boy.
And this is a company that could dox people and bomb their house.
Oh, yeah.
Wade gets doxxed. Director Krennic finds out where he lives, and after Wade turns down their offer to find the egg, they just blow up his trailer. This scene is really all you need to know.
That is crazy. That is so crazy. It's like the most foul play you could ever do. Like, I'm trying to think of a scenario. Like, that's like me. I run a YouTube channel, and and I get like what, 1 million views in every video. There's another content creator that wants to, collaborate with me. I said no, and he ends up committing. And he ends up like wiping my family off the face of the earth. Brother, it's not that deep. I mean, it might be
Just how
deep for them,
different
but
the book and movie
yeesh.
are. In the movie, Wade reacts like, holy shit, things are real. He panics. He calls up the trailer, sprints to the stacks to warn people about the bombs. But it's too late. His aunt and her boyfriend are dead, alongside like 30 other people. He wants vengeance. In the book, Wade does not give a shit. They blow up the stacks, and it's just waved away by Wade himself. He hates his aunt and boyfriend. He kind of seems glad they're dead. And it's kind of more fucked up because in the books, full families live around their trailer. Like, actual children die in this because of Wade's actions. And he never remarks on this at all. Wade is more sad about humbling his internet girlfriend than the death of 30 people. Chestburster. Yeah, IOI are not playing around. There's a lot on the line here after all. The entire fortune of Halliday, plus ownership of the Oasis. And if IOI takes over, they're going to flood the entire thing with ads. Milk the Oasis for all the money they can make.
I guess.
However the Oasis makes money, considering it's essentially free to play, but somehow Halliday made billions. Wait, how did Halliday make billions?
Microtransactions. Season passes. I mean, shoot. It's that age where if you gotta make money from a game, you gotta throw some microtransactions. That downloadable content for $80. That season pass. That kind of stuff. Maybe it's in the Oasis. It's free to play. It's bound to have. It's bound to have those kind of things. It's a possibility,
The Oasis is really just a stand-in for the internet. I get that. This is an absolute wild west of digital space, and the corporations are trying to take it over and commercialize it. The world and lore is written in the way that it is, because this is fundamentally a plucky underdog story. A David versus Goliath situation, where the gamers have to fight to protect the internet from the big bad corporation.
Clark.
The story only works if everyone is fighting over something incredibly valuable, something that IOI would kill for. The story also only works if Halliday is the one who personally offers up the reward himself. It's a simple, fun concept that you just forget about after watching the movie. You just saw Chucky stab a guy. You didn't think about the plot.
It's fucking Chucky! What the hell?
But then while I was writing this, I started thinking about it. And I kept thinking. And I kept thinking even more. So, like, the Oasis is basically free to play, or, well, it only costs $0.25 to start an account. There are no visible ads anywhere. So how did Halliday become the richest man on Earth? Like really, $500 billion is Elon Musk's size. It's almost double the net worth of Jeff Bezos. It doesn't make a...
But not as rich as Mansa Musa, I guess. But then again, it's free. If it's free to play, it's most likely gonna have all those microtransactions. You know, you want the cool looking skins. You gotta pay that. You gotta pay it. You gotta pay for it. You know, out of your pocket. You want that Lara Croft skin? $5. Then you can have the Lara Croft skin. You know?
A lot of sense. Except, it does. Halliday probably got a lot of his wealth through the stock of his company, Gregarious Simulation
Probably.
Systems, or
That too.
GSS. And GSS is wealthy because of the Oasis. By the time of 2045, the Oasis has existed for decades. Funnily enough, it actually formed this month.
December 2nd, 2025.
It isn't just artificially
so that's like
pumping up GSS's stock
few
like
weeks
NVIDIA.
from now?
This is a real operation creating
Right.
a profit for shareholders that keeps getting bigger. So the real question here is, how does the Oasis make money? This is a virtual world, and a virtual world is such a good idea that of course it would be profitable. But how? The metaverse tried the exact same thing and that failed. There has to be a reason why Halliday's fortune is as big as it is. It's the coin. You can buy anything with coins. Virtual gear, cosmetics, weapons, and even real items.
Oh, yeah.
So stick with me here.
Mm.
There's a scene in the movie.
Maybe it's the VR. Maybe the VR kits might be it though. Like you sell them for like whatever, 1 billion people buy it. Maybe that's how it works. Like you buy the VR kit first, and then you can play in the Oasis. But is it really free to play then? Probably. I mean, most likely. But hold on. I need to think. Cause this just popped up in my head. Is the Oasis like a software in the VR or an application? Like the Oasis is like pre-installed in the VR headset. And now thinking about it, how big is the Oasis in data? Like from the looks of it, I know it's like more than 1 terabyte. You see how big this the Oasis is? Oh my! You know what? I don't want to think too much. I'm just gonna move on.
Where
I'm
Wade's
almost done with this anyway.
boyfriend gets pissed because he zeroed out. In the Oasis, a character can die and respawn, but they'll basically be a new
Lose
character,
everything?
like a roguelike. He's mad because he spent real money on virtual upgrades and gear just to lose it all.
That's so dumb. That's so dumb. And this is kind of why I barely buy anything from those free-to-play games. Because, I mean, I buy V-Bucks from time to time, but I don't blow my whole paycheck on freaking V-Bucks or Robux, don't I? I'm not that stupid. Upgrades just to lose everything? That's even dumber. Oh my god.
That is gonna pay for the house.
Wait, how much of our house money did you spend on upgrades?
Everything.
All
So we know that real
Idiots.
money is going into the Oasis every day and being transferred into coins. A movie from 2018 might have a scene like this, and it's just people spending their money on video game coins. But someone from 2025 would
And
look at
then
this
the
and go,
cards,
"Oh
too.
shit, this is just crypto. Because not only can you buy virtual gear with the coins, you can buy real items too.
Oh, yeah.
But even then, just because something's digital, it doesn't mean it's not as valuable. There's an entire underground black market for just Counter-Strike skins. Real money being made on virtual stuff. Real lives being ruined by people spending actual money on digital stuff they might not even get. Oh shit, this is just online gambling. In the story of Ready Player One, James Halliday is this
I never thought of it like that.
figure.
I
His
haven't.
biggest flaw is that he's too obsessed with pop culture.
Wait, hold on.
His Willy Wonka figure.
I just realized that's like the freaking Star Trek logo. Why did it take me like 7 years for me to realize that? And I knew Star Trek. Bro, I need to get back to this movie. Oh man.
Biggest flaw is that he's too obsessed with pop culture and never really lived a real life. He's kind of the emotional core to the film, where the entire Easter egg hunt
So
is
like a
just
Persona
him expressing
fan,
his
I
greatest
guess?
regret, where he never told his crush how he really felt.
She wanted to go dancing, so we watched a movie.
But if you wanted to be a little asshole and overly dissect the story like I am, you could say James Halliday is not a good guy at all. In fact, the game he and Simon Pegg invented is kind of evil.
Those are tickets out of here.
In 2010 terms, Halliday made a very cool MMO. In 2025 terms, Halliday and GSS created a microtransaction free-to-play game that runs its own crypto economy and constantly enables online gambling. We can go even deeper. So the characters can just die and lose everything, right? That's established. Really,
Dang.
that was just a way for the story to have any stakes, because if someone
Okay.
respawned, none of this would matter. But man, the real-world implications of this would be
Wait, I just realized. Cause that coin right there is practically a second chance. So how much are those? Or is that like something you gotta find throughout the Oasis? I just realized. And since you can lose everything, the second life is like something people would die to get, I guess. I don't know.
none of this would matter.
Oh.
But man, the real-world implications of this would be horrific. We're showing people spend their whole lives in this digital world. Hell, TJ Miller's character has a decade in this game. Now, imagine spending real-world money on this massive collection. Your character is your literal identity, something you attach your worth to, and then you just die. How many people off themselves in this world? I bet TJ
Most
Miller
likely.
did. How many people are psychologically destroyed every day by the gameplay loop the Oasis created?
Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. And that's actually crazy to think about, because we are this close. Pretty close to that era where virtual, I guess, like the digital age is practically everything. Like, we don't need to go outside anymore because we have VR. And 2020 practically did that. Shoot. Couldn't be me.
Not only that,
Right there.
the invention of the Oasis was what facilitated the creation of IOI, which, hey, to be fair, it's pretty clear GSS and Halliday didn't like IOI at all. But at the same time, they didn't ban them or anything.
Either.
You're
Huh.
telling me Halliday coded in this entire Easter egg hunt in this virtual world? GSS constantly is running the Oasis servers, and nobody acted when IOI literally started enslaving people and using them for manual labor in a digital world?
I just realized it. I don't know why. But I just realized it. I don't know why it took me long. Don't ask. And against their will, too. How was that not illegal in the Oasis and the real world? Jeez. Now looking back, I'm learning a lot. Man, Cody is really making me open my eyes to certain things now. But regardless, I'm gonna watch this movie again. I heard it's on Netflix.
Even if this was a dystopia
Cyberpunk Edge
world
Runners.
where the government really
I
didn't
need to finish the
exist,
anime.
and IOI could kidnap people and make them indentured servants, why would GSS go along with this? They're the bigger company. Why wouldn't Halliday or Simon Pegg see that people were being enslaved in their
Right!
video game and not just straight up ban IOI?
Right!
We know they can do it because that's what happens at the end of the movie when the kid takes over.
Our second move was to ban any loyalty centers from accessing the Oasis.
Why did it take Wade Watts winning an Easter egg hunt to end slavery?
I don't
Was
know.
Halliday
I
complicit?
don't know,
Did he just
man.
not care?
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of funny. Halliday made his fortune from a video game that encouraged the worst aspects of the modern internet. Like how
That
in the
is
books, it's even worse.
crazy.
Wade's mom was a virtual escort. That's a thing that exists in the Oasis. You can also buy virtual land. So,
I
to sum it
guess.
all up, James Halliday got rich off VR chat that was run with a crypto economy, fueled by online gambling, led to certainly the ruination of many people's lives, all while turning a blind eye to digital prostitution and slavery.
And slavery, yeah.
Hey, it's a DeLorean.
That is crazy work.
Ready Player One is fun, alright? Like, the book is fucking terrible, and I hate it with all my being, but the movie's fun. I'll never watch it again.
I mean, I would.
Everything about
Right
Ready
in the
Player One
balls.
will age badly, except for
Yeah.
one thing. When this movie came out, a lot of the criticisms were about how the references just felt tacked on. Like, why
Yeah, they
is
were
a
just, like,
Battletoads
shoved in your
who goes into
face.
combat as the Joker? Yeah, man.
Huh?
I can't imagine a digital world where someone would willingly go into combat as the Joker.
What's a Fortnite?
Back then, I remember people complaining about the way the Iron Giant was used. Man, the point of the Iron Giant was that he didn't want to be a weapon, and yet here he is being used as a weapon. And I can see that.
I mean,
complaint.
that's
The
like
irony
used as a
was
player,
certainly lost on
right?
The filmmakers who just wanted to do a reference.
not like he had
But
free
in
will.
2025, this is kind of funny. I don't see the Iron Giant anymore, or any of these characters. I just see Fortnite skins. Yeah,
Pretty
the Iron
much.
Giant wouldn't do this, but this isn't the Iron Giant, just like how
Yeah, cause man, anime characters using guns, freaking Goku and Naruto using guns. That's, I mean, I guess it worked for the consumers, the players, but man, those meat writers in the internet. I bet they're not I bet they're not okay with that.
Batman wouldn't kneecap Bruno Mars with an assault rifle. While the Fortnite-ification of culture is a
Multiverses.
discussion in its own right, rest in peace magic, for this movie specifically, it is now incredibly funny. Because we know this is 100% what people would actually do. But yeah, I guess
Especially
if there's a lesson
Fortnite.
to this video, nostalgia baiting is bad. Especially nostalgia baiting over the 80s. Thank God
Yeah.
we're done with that. Now everyone's moved on to nostalgia baiting over the
2000s.
I mean, I am certainly seeing a lot of familiar things popping up.
Yeah.
The resurgence of The Office. There's a Scrubs reboot. I guess if you think about it, the
Scrubs.
2000s are just as distant to us now as the 80s were when Ernest Cline wrote the book. Are the 2000s becoming the new 80s? Imagine 2000s nostalgia
Probably.
being used as a replacement for...
But then again, minimalism is a thing. And yet the 2000s are like going through a resurgence. Companies are still going for a minimalistic look. I just realized that. If the 2000s are going through a resurgence, why not take that as an advantage and make, I don't know, make your brand look like something out of the 2000s instead of making it look simple?
actual personality and substance uh,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
Once again, special thanks to today's sponsor, War.
Oh man, that was a good one. I don't remember actually making this movie. They kidnapped me. That could happen. It's most likely. But oh man, Ready Player One, An Empty Pit of Nostalgia and Mystery by Pointless Hub. Man, oh man, I learned a lot of things that I shouldn't. Now my head is on overdrive right now. Like there are so many thoughts as I'm learning, watching through this video. Like I love Ready Player One, like one of my favorite modern Spielberg films. But oh my god, it just opened my eyes to the bigger like the picture behind the actual picture itself. But hey, I'll still look back to this one. I mean, is it still gonna be relevant in 2045? Y'all let me know that in the comments, and y'all let me know if there's like a certain video or channel y'all want me to look into, cause yeah. Oh, my head hurts. So with that, Phil Legends signing off. Good day.